So for number 28, they want us to take this region and revolve it about the y-axis, but they want us to do it using estimation with the midpoint rule with n is equal to 5. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to break this interval from 0 to 10 into 5 bits, and we can see that it goes from 0 to 2, and then from 2 to 4, from 4 to 6, from 6 to 8, and from 8 to 10. Now, using the midpoint rule, they want us to take the midpoint and evaluate the height at each midpoint. So the first midpoint is at 1, right? So between 0 and 2. And this height here is 2. It goes from 2 to 4. So we're taking this height and then we're extending it out to that interval. So that is the first interval, right? That has a 2 by 2 section. And then the next one, we're going to take the next midpoint at 3, because that's the midpoint between these two. And let's see, this has a height of 4, because it goes 2 up and 2 down. So we're going to take this height and we are going to extend it across that intervals like this. So this is going to be a 2 by 4 chunk. The next one, we are going to take the midpoint at 5, and let's see, that's a height of 1 up and 3 down. So this is going to be a 3 by 2 chunk. Let's see, yeah, that is correct. A 3 by 2 chunk. The next midpoint, we are going to evaluate it at 7, and 7 is just a 2 by 2 chunk. Just a 2 by 2 chunk. And the last one is going to be, maybe let's draw that in, let's see which color. Let's draw that in dark blue. So the next one, we're going to evaluate it at 1, and this height is just 1 up and 1 down. So once more, a 2 by 2. And so what we're thinking about is we're going to take each of these chunks and we're going to revolve it about the y-axis, right? And so let's do that. So for the first one, when we revolve it, we're going to end up with a cylinder like this. So that's the first one. And let's think about what this volume is. Well, the volume here is area times height, right? This height is 2 because it goes from 2 to 4. So this height is 2. And the radius here is also 2, right? So the base is pi r squared. So pi times 4. So that's the first volume. So the volume here is going to be 2 times 4 pi, right? So that is going to be 8 pi. Let me just check if I'm right. 2 squared, yep, that is correct. Let's do the next one. So the next one, we are going to have when we revolve it, we're going to actually end up with a cylinder with a hole, right? So let's think about this volume here. Well, the height, it has a height of 4, right? So this height is 4. And what's the area? Well, the area here is pi times r1, right? That bigger circle, minus pi times r2, which is that smaller circle. So the biggest radius is a radius of 4 because it goes from 0 all the way out to the outer edge. So that's pi times 4 squared minus pi times the inner one, which is 2 squared, right? 2 squared. So this volume is going to be, let's see, that's 4 squared, so that's 16. 16 minus 2 squared is 16 minus 4 is 12. 12 times 4 gives us 48. So this is 48 pi. Okay, let's do the third one. So the third one, once more, is going to be, it's going to have a hole in it when we revolve it about the y-axis. It's going to be like so. This height, it has a height of 3, so that's 1, 2, 3, 3 little squares. And the base, once more, it's going to be, we want just the area of this part here. So that's going to be the bigger radius minus the smaller one, right? So pi times the outer edge is 6 and the inner edge is 4. So pi times 6 squared minus pi times 4 4 squared. So let's see, 6 squared minus 4 squared, that gives us 20, 20 times 3. So this volume here is going to be 60 pi. So that's 60 pi. Let's see the one in red. So the one in red, we're going to have once more a donut. It should go like this actually. And so the height of this donut is going to be just 2, right? And the base here, we once more have to do pi, the outer radius minus the inner radius. So it's going to be pi, the outer one is 8 squared minus pi times, that is going to be 6 squared, 6 squared. So let's see, 8 squared minus 6 squared, 28 times 2, that is going to give us, volume is going to give us 56 pi. And lastly, we need the blue one, right? So for the blue one, same deal here. This height, once more, this height is just 2, right? That little here is just 2. And we're going to do pi times the outer radius. The outer radius is 10. 10 squared minus pi times the inner radius, 8 squared. So this is going to give us, let's see, 10 squared minus 8 squared, 36 times 2, that is 72 pi. So let's see, if we add these all up, we are going to get here 8. So the volume is going to be pi times 8 plus 48 plus 60 plus 56 plus 72. So let's compute that. The volume is going to be 8 plus 48 plus 60 plus 56 plus 72, 244 pi. And that is what we get when we take this area here and we revolve it about the y-axis using the midpoint rule.